Hello, my name is Ruben Rubio. Help support my channel by visiting my website RubenRubioTX.com on your phone, tablet, or PC. For Facebook, go to the menu and click on the Facebook logo. On my Facebook page, click like and follow. For Instagram, go to the menu and click on the Instagram logo. On my Instagram profile, click follow. For YouTube, go to the menu and click on the YouTube logo. On my YouTube page, click subscribe and ring the bell for all notifications. For Twitch, go to the menu and click on the Twitch logo. On my Twitch page, click the heart to follow. If you have questions you'd like answered on one of our live streams or YouTube videos, go to the menu and click on Ask a Question. Fill out all the details in the form and click Submit. You can choose to be anonymous or have your first name mentioned on the video. If you'd like to schedule a phone appointment, go to the menu and click Schedule Phone Appointment. Fill out all the details and when the best time to reach you, and we will get back to you at our earliest time available. Hola, mi nombre es Rubén Rubio. Para apoyar mi canal, visite mi sitio de web RubenRubioTX.com en tu teléfono, tableta o computadora. Para Facebook, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de Facebook. En mi página de Facebook, haga clic en like y siga. Para Instagram, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logo de Instagram. En mi perfil de Instagram, haga clic en seguir. Para YouTube, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de YouTube. En mi página de YouTube, haga clic en suscríbase y haga sonar la campana para todas las notificaciones. Para Twitch, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de Twitch. En mi página de Twitch, haga clic en el corazón para seguir. Si tienes preguntas que le gustaría responder en alguno de nuestros live stream o videos de YouTube, vaya al menú y haga clic en Ask a Question, llene todos los detalles del formulario y haga clic en Enviar. Puede elegir ser anónimo o que su primer nombre se mencione en el video. Si desea programar una cita por teléfono, vaya al menú y haga clic en Schedule Phone Appointment. Llene todos los detalles y cuando es el mejor momento para llegar a usted y nos encontraremos en nuestro momento más temprano disponible.
Welcome to today's stream. This is RubenRubioTX live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm 8-Bit Rich, and with us, as always, is RubenRubioTX himself. How's it going, Ruben?
It's going good, Richard. It's going good.
So today we'll be talking about an important subject of what Ruben's been mentioning often, or the question we all need to ask ourselves, do we know when our next accident will be? Unfortunately, we don't know. So, what's going on today, Ruben?
Well, today I just want to give a quick memorandum towards our personal friends, Juan and Amparo Mata out of Harlingen, Texas. Last week I got a call, since I am their agent and I've been their friend for years, for years. And as I've told people, hey, if something happens, don't worry about it. call me. It doesn't matter what hour it is. I'm there to give you a hand whenever I can. And of course, they called me to tell me that their son had passed away at home. Being a parent, I cannot grasp the severity of how this would hurt, because I have not gone through it personally. I've had personal losses. I've lost my mom, I lost my dad, I've lost my brothers, and this is very tragic. But when you lose a child, it's even more profound, because as I've told people, look, unfortunately, things like this happen. It's not the natural order of things, because usually, it's the children burying mom and dad, and the way things are. But when you lose a son, that is real hard. And I would just like to mention his name. His name was Esau Mata, out of Harlingen. A very good man, a very good son. I mean, he grew up with my kids. He would come to the house, and they play games. He would carry this big long extension cord to connect it to the internet, and they'd drive it up to the second floor, and then you just hear them playing. They'd be playing games and online, and then they would be watching movies, and this is what kids should do, and it's been a couple of years since I haven't seen them, and of course I get this call, and of course this really breaks my heart, and it breaks my heart for them too, because what are they going to do without their son? And he was a living at home child. He decided to live with his mom and dad, and he was married, and he had an accident about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And after the accident, he wasn't doing well. As I talked to the family, he had a couple of seizures. So you don't know what happens after an accident. You don't feel the effects right away. You might feel a little hurt here and there, and you said, "Oh, I'm okay." But you know what? Nowadays, you should check yourself with a doctor. You should be seeing what's going on. And of course, their insurance company sent them to a doctor, and they checked them, and we're going to see what the outcome is, okay? Because I cannot comment more on that, because that is more of a legal issue. But the issue is that he's no longer with us. Esau was a good boy. He played band. He loved the Cardinals. We all have our faults, and he was just a good man. And this is one of the things that, like I said, this is not normal. It's something that's not what we expect. As I said, unfortunately, usually mom or dad or mom go first, but not a child. And if something happens, it would usually be in an accident, but this wasn't the case in this occasion. And of course, this brings to memory, I as an insurance agent, it's always hard to grasp that somebody passed away, but that's my job. That's my job, Richard. I've known clients that have passed away over the years. I mean, this May was 30 years in the business. Can you imagine that? 30 years. Wow. Yeah. Que aguante, dicen en español.
Yeah. Congratulations.
And I've seen of everything. I've had clients that, I've known for years, and, one day I go to their home and he's no longer there, or she's no longer there, and very lovable people, and it's part of life. And that's why you need to be ready, because when something happens, you want to be ready. When you go to the funeral home, you want to have an idea, and of course you want to have somebody to go there to give you, a helping hand. Hey, this is my suggestion. This is what we should do. This is how we should do it. We can do it this way, and of course this is to the advantage of the client. Sometimes the funeral homes don't like it, but that's a little bit too bad. And as I mentioned previously in other shows, I would like to thank, when I've had to do these things, and I've always appreciated the way Rudy Garza has attended my clients, and they've been very good. I can say that for a fact. They've always been very good. You know, I've known them for years, and they're always very good with all the clients. So they don't think about their buck, okay? They don't think about that money. They think about comforting the family, which is very important at a
Yeah.
time where you're more susceptible, you're more like at a very emotional state. You need somebody like that. A few years ago, I had a manager of mine that I was working with here in Macau, in Harlingen, I'm sorry. And his daughter was about 19 years old. I think it was her second year in college. And he says that one day they got home, she was in the kitchen and
Mm-hmm.
they found her dead. And what happened is that she had made a peanut butter sandwich. You know, as retarded as this sounds, she had made a sandwich, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess there was no milk or water, and she choked, and that was it. That was it.
Wow.
There was no suicide. There was nothing bad. It was just that, it was an
An
unfortunate
accident.
mistake. So
Yeah.
I have to watch out for my kids now because I tell them, hey, when you make a sandwich, you better have milk or water or juice or something because this is something that could happen to anybody. Anybody.
Yeah.
And you have to take care of yourself. You have to watch out for your own family. I mean, we sometimes accidentally do stupid things, Richard. It's like when you
Mm-hmm.
get out of the car and you still haven't put it on park. Have you seen people do
That
that?
happens.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
especially.
what are you thinking? Well, I was in a hurry. Well, yeah, but stop the car, put it on park, and then you can get out. Oh, and by the way, don't
Yeah.
forget to turn off the vehicle. And I've
Mm-hmm.
seen people, drive very erratically, and of course some people talk about your mother when you're driving and like, ¿qué culpa tiene tu madrecita? ¿Cómo conduces tú? Are
Mm-hmm.
you talking about that person's mother if it's not their fault the way you drive? But that's part of
Yeah.
life, we have to be careful. Life is too precious and life is too limited, and I really hate to see people go, and
Yeah.
especially in this time of the pandemic, that we really need to take care of ourselves. And they talk about the CDC saying this suggestion, saying the other suggestions. Look, don't take chances. Wear your mask, wash your hands, keep away from
Mm-hmm.
crowds. I mean, you can't do better than that. If you're really looking,
Mm-hmm.
like when I was young, cruising for a bruising, go for it. Okay, go for it.
Yeah.
But you have to take care of yourself because accidents happen all the time. I mean, I've been in,
Yeah.
how many times have we not been in a crowd and all of a sudden people start sneezing crazily?
Mm-hmm. It's almost
That thing
contagious.
is scary,
Everyone. Yeah.
but that's not the same today. Today it should scare you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
somebody starts sneezing and going crazy, like, oh my God, something's wrong. But
Yeah.
going back to the basics, insurance is there to help in those times of needs. It is very
Mm-hmm.
important to always have something, and you don't have to have a huge policy. Richard, I keep telling people, with 20, 25 bucks, you can have a 25, $50,000 policy that's going to pay for the funeral. And of course, I keep telling people, you got to think about the cost of living. Right now, a funeral, you're looking at 12,500, 15,000. In the next 10, 15 years, you're looking at about 20, 25,000. And we live here in the Valley. You live in Austin,
Yeah.
you need at least 20,000, at least 20,000. And if you live up
Yeah.
more north, that's what I've explained to my employers. You want us to sell larger quantities of policy, but it's more expensive to die where you are. Like in Dallas, you need basically a $25,000 policy, or in Houston, you need a $25,000 policy today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And here in the Valley, well, we're at the end of the world, Richard. Aquí
Yeah.
estamos en el fin del mundo. We're right smack on the bottom, way back here.
Yeah.
And it's not that expensive still, but give it time. Give it
Getting
time.
there. Yeah.
The Valley is eventually going to be called the Rioplex because that's what they're shooting at, to become the Rioplex. And as you've noticed, you drive from Brownsville, you pass through, what is it, Rancho Viejo, and then you go by San Benito.
there's not that many fields anymore. It's
Yeah.
it's all more connected. I mean, you drive through Harlingen, there's houses all over the place. You go to La Feria, there's houses all over the place. You get to Mercedes, you got an outlet mall, and now you hit Westlaco, and they don't allow you to build houses on the levees. Okay, so that's okay. All you see out there is grass and cows, But you go all the way to Brownsville, all the way up to Rio Grande. It's covered. The valley is covered, and of course this means everything has to go up. Construction, it goes up all the time. We're having construction through the whole valley, and this is part of life. We go forward. Amen.
Yep. Amen.
Yeah. So I would suggest to all of you that are listening to us, hey, do me a favor, check out the other videos that I have posted. RubenRubioTX. Go to YouTube, go to Facebook. You can find them there. If you can't get them on Instagram or on Twitch, just come back to these guys, and they'll check. You'll find out things. And of course, if you have questions or you want me to personally talk to you and give you suggestions, hey, I'm there for you. And this past week, I did a conversion from a family that the man had $100,000 policy, and I made him understand, hey, when you bought this policy, you needed this type of coverage. Now you're older, you're 69 years old, and you need another type of policy, a policy that will pay for deaths, and you no longer qualify for regular insurance because now you're not the same age, and now you have ailments. But when you have a policy with me and it's a term, we can convert it. No blood, no urine, no exam. The health questionnaire is out the window, and you're covered as of that moment. And we try to accommodate you to the best. When I go to your home and I talk to you, I'm not there as an agent. I'm there to give you some advice. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a positive advice. Sometimes I have to tell you, look, you know what? You're okay. I'm not going to mess with it because you're okay. We don't have to do any changes because you're okay. But I would suggest, change beneficiaries. I would suggest do this. You have an outstanding loan. Let's pay off the loan. I would suggest things that will accommodate you. I'm not there to make a fast buck. I'm there to become your agent, your friend. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the program, hey, you could call me at 3, 4 in the morning when something happens, Richard. Because as you know, we need somebody to give us a hand at that time of need. I may not be your pastor. I may not be the chaplain to your church. But you know what? I'm there to service you in the best of my ability. And that's our goal. That's RubenRubioTX's goal, is to give you a helping hand. Yeah. Now, did you want to comment on anything?
I think that's pretty good information. Just like to thank everyone that has been with us today on the show. We started off giving a memorandum to a friend of the family in Ruben Rubio's circle, because you never know when an accident happens. Not something you plan for, prepare for, but it's always good to know that these things happen so that we ourselves can take the initiative. Hey, what can I do to protect myself, protect my family? And here at Ruben Rubio TX, he's here sharing the different stories and the different benefits and insurances that are out there that can possibly benefit you. And the best thing you can do if you have questions is visit our website at RubenRubioTX.com. Leave your questions there, or if you want to set up an appointment directly with Ruben Rubio, we have a form there also. Whenever you're available and you want to get some consultation, Ruben Rubio can direct you in the right path to help provide guidance in the next steps to make sure that you and your family are taken care of in case of any unfortunate accident. I mean, but that's pretty interesting situation, that
Yeah.
family had to go through. And
And they're still going through because they're now waiting for for them to do that procedure on him, and you know it's hard waiting to be able to put to rest that body. I mean, his soul is no
yeah,
longer there, but you know you need that closure. You know what I mean,
yeah,
Richard? That closure for the
yeah,
family and for his wife, and my heart bleeds for them because I love them very much and I care for them. And when they're passing through something like that, hey man, like, oh my God, is there anything we can do, or is there anything else we could do? You can only
yeah,
help so much, but you want to be there. Things happen. And this week also, I got a call from clients. Hey, Mr. Rubio, I've got a son in San Antonio. I've got a son in Houston. Hey, guess what? Call me and we'll get things ready. And I set up appointments to whenever I'm out of the valley. I can swing by. If you want to
yeah,
personally see me, great. I don't know how to do the other one, the Zoom thing yet, because I'm not that technical, but ahí vamos.
yeah,
But most of the time, it's best because one of the questions that we have: did you personally see the client? Yes or no? And if I put no, the company's going to require an exam or require medical records. So
yeah,
it's to your advantage, to see
yeah,
me and talk to me, and of course we'll laugh about this and that and joke about that, and of course, I'm there to service you. Like I've mentioned, I've got clients in El Paso, I've got people in Del Rio, I've got people in Midland, I've got people in San Antonio, Houston, Waco, Dallas. I know a lot of people say Waco. No, Waco,
yeah.
Waco.
There you go.
So Waco. I think everybody's in that area right now. So especially with the
Yeah,
pandemic, everybody goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
yeah. So you were saying that we really don't even have to start off with like a large policy. We can just start off with like a small one,
Just
starting
something
off at like
basic.
25,000.
Basic,
Yeah,
we still have family plans, and to a certain point, if you're a mom and dad and you have young ones, hey, at least have $10,000 coverage, because that's what we can sell them, a $10,000 policy. Add it onto your policy, and I tell people, look, this is what we call a watchdog policy. This is a little policy that's enough to pay for final expenses, because as an adult or a child, the cost is about pretty much the same. And of course, I try to go the most economical with them. But then let's say, hey, you know what? I have a mortgage. Oh, well, you know what? Now we're looking at 100 or 200,000 or 250 or 500,000. It depends what your need is. And then I've got clients that have a bit of money, and they say, hey, how about getting a little bit of whole life to build some cash value? Sure. So down the road, they don't have to convert. Down the road, they don't have to do that. And like I've mentioned before in other programs, when I'm offering, the final, not the final expense, but the mortgage cancellation, I said, look, if you can invest another 25 or $50, this will help you give a lump sum at a certain point where your mortgage just disappears, and I'm going to help you do that amortization through the life insurance. Like I said, Richard, it behooves you. It's in your interest to sit down and talk to me. I've got other clients that tell me, Mr. Rubio, but I don't want to live in this house anymore. I've got this big mortgage, but well, you know what? There's a way to get around it, and if you can sell it, you can move on. But if you can't sell it, there's ways to go around these things. And if you sit down and you listen to me, I will give you the best advice possible. I want to do the
yeah,
best for my clients, and you've heard me talk about, the APDF. I've talked about, ways to set money aside, and, all these factors are something that we have to plan. And if we don't plan, we fail to do the right thing for ourselves and our families.
yeah. And you were also talking about converting. Exactly what is that that
Oh,
you are
okay.
converting?
When a client has a term policy, Down the road, what we have is a benefit in which you have the right to convert part of your term or the whole amount of your term from term to whole life. And the whole life will build cash value. Now, what is term? Term, like when you rent, as long as you're paying for it, you are covered. And so what we do is that when you've got this covered, something happens, it'll pay off. But when you have whole life, it builds cash value. And if you have need of money, you can access that money without uh, having to ask for a loan at a bank, or having to qualify for a loan at a bank, or qualifying loans with other companies. It's already built in. And I sit down with the client and explain how things work. And, our interest are real small. It's like 5.3%, 5.2. I've got clients that are paying 5.3% interest on their policies, that if they need to borrow money, that money's there for them. Now, the whole life is like buying a home. It builds in terms of equity. Cash value is like that, but it's not the way a lot of people think. This money is there building value for you and your family. So that's what I try to direct people. And of course, when you sit down with me, I take out a pen and I take out paper and I explain, okay, this is how much you owe, this is what we're doing, this is our plan, and we make a plan, Richard. I make a plan with the family. By the way, I'm insuring you, but now I've got to insure your wife, because mom and dad are the same value. And if one is missing, well, the other one needs the other one. Most families are send their kids to work, and they have to pitch in to help. Remember when we were young? Well, I don't know if you remember, but we'd go to the fields. Y a la labor, y a piscar tomate, pepino, zanahoria, whatever was out there, we had to go work. And you had to pitch in to help the family. Today they don't do that, because I guess people don't want to go to the fields, but work is work. Work is work.
Yeah. So then, I guess you would be not only just offering a policy, but actually examining, okay, what are the actual options that are available and things to take into consideration.
Well, yeah, I do what I try to do the best financial portfolio for the client. I said, well, let's see what you have, because I'll take out whatever they have to help them out. And I said, do you have any other policies? What